Hi, this is Didi. Today we're going to pan fry a steak. So you want to put your skillet on high heat, get it nice and hot, pour in a little oil. It should be smoky and sizzly. Twirl it around in the pan. You want to coat the whole surface. And then we're going to do a nice 1-inch sirloin strip steak. You'll want to cook it 2 to 3 minutes aside so it'll get a nice brown caramelized crust. You don't want to move it in the pan, but just let it sizzle away here for a couple of minutes. After 2 or 3 minutes, you're going to flip the steak and you're going to start searing the second side. The searing is the key to locking in the juices and creates a nice crunchy outside and a juicy inside. Now, I don't use a lot of salt while the steak is cooking, and I don't pre-season the steak. But you can put a little tiny bit of salt on now because that draws up the juices to the surface, and then you get little pools of red. And those little pools, once they start pooling up on the top, that means that the steak is almost around rare. So the best way to figure out how a steak is cooked the way you want it is to use your finger. So you have to push. If it's really squishy, it's rare. The firmer it gets, the more done it is. I usually take it out of the pan when it's rare to medium rare. Not too squishy, not too firm. After practicing a few times, you'll be an expert in knowing when the steak is cooked the way you like it. Take the steak out of the pan and you're going to let it rest for about 2 to 5 minutes before serving it or cutting it into slices. The reason you want to rest the steak is you want to let the juices relax. Otherwise, they'll be on the plate instead of in the steak, and you want it to be nice and juicy. I like to season after cooking because I have more control over how much salt goes on the steak. Today I'm using 3 different sea salts to season the steak. We have a chili salt, we have a fleur de sel, and we have a cherry smoked sea salt. You can serve the steak whole, obviously on a plate, or you can cut it into nice 1/4-inch thick slices and serve it that way. We're going to do that. We're going to cut it, and you can see how nice and rare to medium rare it is, and how there's no juices flowing out and spraying on the board. They're all nicely reabsorbed back into the meat. So once you have it all cut into nice slices, then we're going to season it with the sea salt. Today I'm going to use the chili salt. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on some of the slices, and then I'm going to take a little bit of the smoked sea salt and sprinkle it on. I used a little bit of the fleur de sel back when we were searing the steak in the skillet, so I'm not using any here. Now your steak is well seasoned, and that's all there is to it. Thanks for watching. Enjoy and see you next time.